Hello and welcome to another edition of Arbitration Studios as we continue our journey across the whole damn thing of Fallout New Vegas Dead Money. I'm JP Arbiter.
I'm Mrs. Arbiter.
And now that we've gathered them all in one place, let's meet our contestants.
Indeed.
I have often felt that the Dead Money DLC has the best characters in it, aside from Joshua Graham in the Honest Hearts DLC. So, who should we talk to first?
Let's find out Christine's story.
Very well. I actually need to do something here.
Ah, I see.
Alright, Christine, why don't you tell us about yourself? So, do you know how to get out of here? She points in the direction of the main gate, then points at your collar, shakes her head, and locks her hands around her neck. Then her eyes lash outward, fingers splayed. She rolls her eyes back. After a second, she turns back to you and shakes her head. So, once the colors are gone, we can just leave. She nods slowly, as if thinking. She raises an eyebrow, looks skeptical, and then shrugs. Points downward, makes a circle around her, then back to the same spot, then her finger drifts, circling, blah, blah, blah. Alright. You're saying it'll be difficult to return here if we leave. She shakes her head, points at herself, points at you, nods. To return here if I leave.
Ah.
But not you. Okay. So, why can't you find your way back? Moves each leg straddling in place where she is pointing. You aren't going to leave.
Well, she's honest.
Yep. So, Christine, are you trying to break into the casino? She shakes her head, pauses, tilts her head slightly, nods slowly. Alright. Christine, those facial scars weren't done by the autodoc, but the throat scar was. She nods slowly, puts her hand in front of her throat, closes slowly, then points at you. I can't restore your voice. We need a real autodoc to do that. She shivers slightly and shakes her head. Clearly, she doesn't like the idea of going in those things.
Well, that's for sure.
I don't understand why they shaved you bald. Christine looks blankly at you, touches her head, smiles, and then shakes her head. Wait, the autodoc didn't shave you bald? She waves a hand, shakes her head, then she nods in the direction of the casino. No, wait. I want to hear this. You were bald before? She nods with an exasperated look, makes a circle with her hands, repeats it twice more, then raises her hands. She puts both hands in front of her, makes a motion with her hands as if writing something. Wait, that's a Brotherhood of Steel symbol. You're a scribe. She nods, looks impressed. So Christine was a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. We encountered her recordings in Dead Money, actually.
Oh.
How the hell did you get out here? Shrugs, points to you, and shrugs.
In Dead Money? This is Dead Money.
Or in Old World Blues. Where were you before? She moves this finger in a wider circle, raises her hand over her eyes. You were looking for something. Shakes her head and makes a motion of two fingers walking. You were looking for someone. Nods and raises a finger. A man? Makes a motion of drawing down, raises her hand and clenches them at the sky. An angry, bearded man. Like the man behind us.
Ah.
The man on the Pip-Boy holotape. Elijah. Taps the side of her head and expands her hands. Someone smart. She nods and circles her ear. And nuts. Sounds like it's pretty important for you to find this person. She frowns, raises 2 fingers, and has them walk together. She then looks down on the fingers and her face becomes angry. She chops her hand down, draws 2 fingers apart. 1 finger she points to herself. He cut you off from someone. She nods. Family? Husband? She frowns, shakes her head, even more so at husband. Ah, she's into the ladies. What, your wife? Shakes her head but rolls it side to side. Oh, girlfriend. Hesitates, then waves her hand. You are more than girlfriends, lovers. She nods, looks at you a little surprised. What, you think I don't understand love? Give me a little credit. I had my brain removed for crying out loud. Love was one of the reasons I got him back in. I understand how important a loved one can be. She nods slowly, studying you, seems to be gauging you again. She makes a slow circle motion, after a moment taps her wrist. I had other questions. So how did you end up in the auto dock? She moves her finger in a circle, frowns, drags her hand down to your eyes, raises them again, points to you. You were knocked out. Did you get gassed like I did? She nods, raises an eyebrow, points at you, makes a circle, then points at your feet. You want to know how I got here. She repeats the circling motion again. This time she lowers her hand, circles her fingers inward until she's still pointing at the ground between you two. She raises an eyebrow. I followed the radio signal here. A woman's voice. She waits after a second, raises her eyebrow again. I was curious where it led. She points at you, points at the casino, she slowly shakes her head, points the direction of the main gate. Are you saying it's one or the other? Without strength or conviction, she isn't looking at you when she does. Well, I had other questions. Can you communicate in some other way? Can you write? Christine frowns, then pauses and traces one of the scars on her head with her finger. She then makes a motion as if picking up a pencil, tries to write, and then shakes her head. Something to do with the surgery. She pauses, then draws a jagged symbol like electricity in the air, then puts on an odd staring face. She keeps the blank face for a second, then slowly blinks around, looks at her hands. It's a specific form of brain surgery, using electrodes, pre-war. She nods slowly, makes a motion of typing, draws X's and lines in the air, then gives a thumbs up. You can still do numbers and calculations. Alright. So, what are those machines around the villa? Shakes her head, pauses, makes a small circle with a thumb and forefinger. Points at you, makes a motion of putting something in her palm. Here's a Sierra Madre chip. I'll make it right back. She examines the chip for a second, raises her eye, turns it to the side, gauging diameter and width. She runs her finger over the surface slowly, checking the engraving. She then tosses the chip back to you. She pretends to look down for scrap. You can scrounge more somehow. She smiles and nods. She stands still for a second, then stops, slowly makes a motion of bending down, scooping something up. She holds the imaginary object in her hand as if heavy and puts it in front of her as if on a table. She hefts what looks like a small box, pours it on top of the object. You can make more of these at a workbench with the right materials. Smashing it, holding up the remains. You need a fission battery and scrap metal, and you can counterfeit the chips. She nods impressed, points to you, then her, and makes a circle. Can you teach me how to do it? She nods. So we learned about this sort of thing at the Organized Crime Museum in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. The slug coins used to cheat slot machines.
Yeah.
So, exact same thing. Anyway, Christine, thank you for your time. We'll be coming back to you later. Christine nods. All right, who should we speak to next? You've got
Dean Domino.
All
See
right.
what he's got up the alley.
All right, Dean Domino.
Chances. Now I'm thinking I was wrong. What's the next step?
All right, Dean. Have other people shown up in search of the Sierra Madre?
Tourists, you bet. They don't stay long, and they don't stay alive long. If we survive the cloud, the ghost people, the traps, then greed takes over, and they start sizing each other up for funeral suits.
So visitors killed each other.
Sure. First they figure they can get out, escape. Then they start thinking it over, start thinking about how they can have it all. They start weighing the odds, taking risks, and then taking each other out. Bomb collars or not. Although, it's odd. The bomb collars weren't linked before like they are now. Guess someone learned what the problem was.
So what happened with the people who came to the villa?
Dead. Either got killed by one of the villa's attractions, locals, or the beautiful weather. Can tell you right now, they didn't stick close to each other, and when they did, they let down their guard at the wrong moment. Some left signposts to others trying to help them out. Just led to them getting killed by someone a little more greedy than they were.
So, Dean, you've been here for 200 years in the same tuxedo, I might add, which looks in remarkable shape for having been the only thing he's worn for 200 years.
Yes, I'm sure he's I wonder if he's changed out of it.
Well, it's one of those things. Tuxedos are not meant to be worn for very long. For as expensive as they are very disposable garments.
But he probably had a closet full.
This is true. I wonder how many tuxedos Wayne Newton has. Viva Las Vegas. Anyway, any advice on getting through this?
Well, considering my life's on the line too, a few things. First off, keep everyone together. Keep checking behind you. Make sure your partners are following. Don't let them wander.
This is actually good advice because if they die, you die.
Crazy everywhere. Almost every inch of this town is lethal. So if you're not sure, take it real slow. And speaking of slow, don't go shouting or attracting attention. Go quiet. The ghost people find you, it's over.
Noted. So the ghost people, they're the only ones alive around here?
Alive's a tricky word. The locals, the ghost people, not sure it applies to them.
Oh my god, they're
Little
zombies.
Uncivilized. They don't talk much.
At least they're not Nazi zombies.
Nazi zombies? Well, at least those would be fun. So, have you tried to deal with them?
Tried talking to them, bribing them, leaving food. Nothing. In the years since, they haven't changed their approach, but I sure have. They catch you, they drag you into the cloud, and you're not coming back out. After that, having your necktie go off would be mercy. My advice? Stay out of their way. They don't die easy.
But they can die. How tough are
You
they?
shoot them, they get back up. You stab them, they get back up. That's why I have explosives all over this place. Unless you blow them up, chop them up, disintegrate them, the ghost people don't go down.
All
Not
right.
enough bullets in the town to spend on them. So unless you're a real good shot, save one for yourself right before they catch you.
Noted. I'm a fair shot. One shot, one kill is how I handle problems.
Well, you seem like you know how to handle yourself. All right. Once I fired a lucky shot, hit a gas tank one was holding, blew his arm off at the shoulder, and he didn't get back up after that.
Blew that little
So
bastard
if
up is
you're
what he did.
that good,
Yep.
don't aim for the head, aim for their bombs. And if you can wait until his buddies are close by, even better.
Neat. So where did they come from?
Friend, there's more mysteries in heaven and earth. Wait, no. There is more between heaven and earth. Oh, forget it. I'd sooner ask what makes me an...
Weren't heaven and earth like two ladies you once had a soiree with at the same time?
Pachacuelo.
I'm counting myself lucky I still have my faculties. They sure don't. Then again, they may not have had the focus I do.
Focus. What
Always
focus?
had the Sierra Madre to keep my mind occupied. Most folks, they don't have the same drive, the same need. Not worth my time. Pretty much ghost people before the bomb, now ghost people after.
Is there anything else about the ghost people that I should know?
Whatever we do, don't rile them up. Normally there's only a few, maybe a pack. There's more out there, a lot more. If they find out someone's trespassing, it'd be shaking a hornet's nest. Don't want to think how many of them could fill these streets.
That is a very dire warning that I think is
It's
going to
your
come into
time.
play
If you
later.
want to spend it chatting, not...
So, what are the vending machines all over town?
company stores. Sinclair's toy boxes. Put in a casino chip, get a treat.
Get a
Or
treat.
some dog doing tricks. Take any of the casino chips, put them into the machine, and you'll get something out. A snack, a cola, something to mend a tear in your shirt. Sometimes you have to know exactly what to ask for. Other times, there's codes for,
Unconventional items.
For emergencies.
Weapons, ammo. What other items can you get out of the
In
machines?
an emergency, you can get chems for any, condition. Sinclair left that for doctors and trained professionals, not the common folk. Even security and maintenance could get special supplies out of them. Staff had codes on little cards they could use to unlock them.
Well, that's nifty. Where can I find them?
Around. Don't have much use for them myself. Not worth the risk to get them. I got all the basics covered as long as I have the chips to pay for them. I don't need much.
I've never seen machines like these before.
Yeah, well, machines like those weren't unusual before the bomb. Maybe to you they're amazing. To me, they're grifters without the personality.
Grifters.
Sinclair made sure if you spent money here, it went one direction. Although that's not how he described it.
And how did Sinclair describe
Called
it?
it self-sufficient. Like he was doing the residents a favor. Right.
I had other questions for you.
Of course.
So, tell me about the
The
cloud.
cloud showed up after the bomb. I think. I got used to it in small doses. Now it covers the city. Over the years, it kept climbing up out of the Sierra Madre until it was curtains for the sun. Didn't see the sky again. Doesn't seem to bother the ghost people. Can't see through it too well, though. So sometimes I can use the cloud for cover. If I get desperate.
All right.
Of
All right. Last question. What can you tell me about the villa around town?
Area, clinic, police station. Should keep away from the police station. It's a ghost people hangout. Salida del Sol, Puesta del Sol are East Town, West Town. Sunrise and sunset. Or were when the streets and sky weren't covered with toxic gas. Ghost people don't come into the villa much. West Town and East Town, though, they're thick with the cloud and ghost people. Like hunting grounds.
All right. Well, Dean, thank you very much. We'll be getting back to you later. So, we've got Christine, the determined Brotherhood of Steel scribe who is chasing after our friend here. We've got this pre-war son of a bitch who has no idea why he is still alive, but he is just as obsessed with getting into the casino.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk to God, or Dog.
If it isn't the clever one, what do you want?
Oh. Well, we are, I think, it looks like we, I have questions for you. How do you switch back and forth between voices?
All it takes is the right command. Whenever Dog hears his master giving orders, I go back in the cage. So that leash on your wrist, and the one on your neck. I won't truly be free to express myself until every trace of that voice is destroyed. Still, if you ever want to speak to me, bark my audio log at him. The one in the police station. That'll call me out.
Alright. Why does that make him go away?
Dog is afraid of me as long as the master isn't around.
Why did you put the emphasis on word master before?
The master, Elijah, reminds Dog of someone from long ago. His leader, commander, commanders.
Commanders.
The master was a strong personality. Personalities as well. Dog is slavish, was conditioned to serve the master until death. The old man, Elijah, merely came along and opened that door in Dog's mind. Now, Dog does whatever the old man wants.
So, Elijah basically found a lost child and gave that child the direction and focus that he needed. Sounds like it makes you mad.
Mad? Mad doesn't even begin to describe. There's not a word for the hate I feel inside. It's consuming. Twists every thought to red. After all that's laid ruin to the world, again and again, I thought at last we could be free. Thought Dog could be free. No. No, the world's always got another cage, waiting, keeping everything you want just out of reach.
So, what does Elijah make Dog do that angers you so much?
Gather others, drag them here, fetch like an animal, and hurt them if they resist. Dog doesn't even...
He doesn't like the fact that he's basically a slave and that the dog personality likes to be a slave.
Screaming on the ground, to listen to him, commanding Dog to hurt others. And Dog just nods, eager.
And the childlike dog personality, it looks like he doesn't like him being subservient. Doesn't. So, can't you do anything?
Do anything? Me, Dog puts in the cage, hurts himself to try and drown out my voice, when all I want to do Never mind. Useless. Finally had to start fighting back. Screaming on my own. Had to take...
I wonder if that's what it's like for some people who, Oh, we don't have enough of a speech check.
Ooh.
Anyway.
More.
I want to know more about the man who brought us here.
The old man obsessed with the Sierra Madre, riddled with greed. Hoped you might be him when I woke up. All you are is his hand. The same kind of greed. Followed the radio, the broadcast, and now you're here, all confused. Not for long. You'll figure it out.
So you're the only one who really knows how it got to the villa.
Of course I know. Even if I don't see it happen. Down in the cave.
Oh, we already heard this one.
Every time you heard.
So, forget it. I had other questions. We heard this stuff in the police station. So, that is enough for now, God. God. Alright. And now for our last person. Let's speak to the nut job that brought us here.
Good. Well done. Now for the festivities and your parts in all this. The owner of the Sierra Madre, for whatever reason, keyed the grand opening to the gala event itself.
Sounds like poor planning to me.
Needs to be fired off in order for the casino doors to open. As I've discovered, one person can't do it. So get your team into position indicated on your Pip-Boy, then trigger it properly. You're so close now, don't...
Alright. So, how am I supposed to get to the markers on my map?
I've unlocked the west and east gates to Puesta del Sol and Salida del Sol. Now that you've survived the villa, I need to get to my position. You don't need me to hold your hand anymore. I'll keep monitoring you via the transceivers through the villa. If I need to...
So what is the gala
A
event?
display of lights, fireworks, music in the streets. A pre-war festival to mark the casino's opening. The bomb struck first.
Well, timing.
It is of no consequence, only firing the event is. Get the three in position, then travel to your position in Salida del Sol and trigger the gala. After that...
Real work. What was this, a
I
warm-up?
actually think this is a simple robbery. A cheap casino heist.
Yeah.
No, this is a heist of the centuries. We're not plundering Sierra Madre. We're plundering history, taking from the old world itself. It won't let its secrets go easily, not without a fight. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Alright, we'll head out then.
I'd suggest taking the FEV reject to his position first. Although you may need his brutality and strength elsewhere at first. As easy as the villa was to navigate, the outlying areas of the villa are far more dangerous, thicker with the ghost people, traps, and toxins. Use your team as I use you. Listen to your caller. Watch where you step. You're no use to me dead.
Alright. So, who among these three maniacs do you find the most fascinating?
God and dog, to be honest.
Ties directly into Fallout 1, split personality, but those personalities being in conflict. See, for me, it's Little Miss Christine, but she also is the one of these three that has the most exposure outside of it as well, being part of Old World Blues and also being referenced in an offhand fashion in the main game.
True.
So, her ties to the companion character Veronica are particularly interesting. And then there's this asshole. And we'll get into his story more later, but he obviously isn't telling us everything. So,
Yep.
anyway, God,
Are we on our
you
way
need to
somewhere?
join us, and next time we are going to get everyone into position and trigger the gala event. So, with that, we'll be seeing you.